okay. But when you find someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo.
You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself.
Canelo Alvarez snapped back at Terence Crawford during the press conference, insisting that Crawford is not on his level. He expressed disdain for fighters who focus solely on surviving 12 rounds, rather than delivering a competitive and exciting bout. According to Canelo, such cautious tactics result in boring fights that disappoint fans who expect a great show. Kell Brook, who has first-hand experience in the ring with elite fighters like Gennady Golovkin and Terence Crawford, issued a stark warning about the upcoming clash. Brook emphasized that this fight presents a completely different challenge for Crawford. According to him, Canelo's style is fundamentally unique.
It's a wow. It's a wow fight, you know what I mean? It's two supreme athletes fighting against each other, but you've got to sway towards Canelo. Crawford's gonna have to, move up, and I knew when I boxed Golovkin, there's a big difference, especially with someone that, fighting a middleweight, a mediocre world champion's okay, but when you're fighting someone like, Canelo or Golovkin, it's a different kettle of fish, I have to lean towards Canelo, but, Crawford's very, very, very good.
Do you think Crawford's still got the legs? Obviously, he's very much got great.
Brook further highlighted that Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight and impose his physical presence creates a highly demanding environment for any opponent. Facing a strong and versatile fighter like Canelo requires a different mindset and level of preparation. Brook believes that Crawford may not have previously encountered someone quite like Canelo, reinforcing the warning that this will not be a familiar kind of challenge. Brook further highlighted that Canelo's ability to adapt mid-fight and impose his physical presence creates a highly demanding environment for any opponent. Facing a strong and versatile fighter like Canelo
To be maybe outmoving Canelo if he needs to.
Well, I don't know, I think when we look back at Mayweather when he beat Canelo, he's a mover. Crawford's not really like Mayweather in that aspect. He's more, he kind of sets his feet and he's cute with how he approaches chucking shots and moving. You know what I mean? I think it's a different fight to Mayweather, and Canelo's obviously a different fighter from when he boxed Mayweather. But like I say, it's one of them what we've got to tune into and watch. Both unbelievable fighters, but I'd have to favour Canelo. Just his size and his experience and just his ring generalship, he's got confidence, he's big.
Veteran commentator Jim Lampley has expressed strong confidence in Canelo Alvarez's chances of defeating Terence Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford as an extraordinary talent with an impressive record, Lampley emphasized that Canelo possesses a unique blend of experience, physical strength, and mental toughness. He believes Canelo's history of competing with and defeating top-tier fighters across multiple weight classes gives him an edge. Lampley also pointed to Canelo's superior ring IQ and ability to control pace and space as key factors. Furthermore, he noted that Canelo's defensive skills and counterpunching ability could effectively neutralize Crawford's offense. Ultimately, Lampley's analysis leans toward Canelo's well-rounded.
He's a great defender. He has the most solid punch resistance of anybody in the sport. Nobody's ever knocked him off balance. Nobody's ever really knocked him down. There's only one official knockdown in his career, and it was because he bounced off the ropes when Jose Cotto hit him with a hard shot to the chest. And the referee employed a strict interpretation of the rules and said, oh, the ropes held you up, so that's a knockdown. He's never been put on his back by anybody. He rides horseback every morning. His legs are the strongest in the sport. You're not going to beat Canelo until somehow over a long period of time Canelo beats himself. If he gets tired of all the discipline he has had to employ to make all the money he's made, if he has enough giant ranches in the Yucatan, if he has enough beautiful horses, if he has had enough unforgettable dinners with Mexican billionaires in Mexico City and Vegas, then maybe. But my guess is he will retire without incurring another loss because it's important to him to do that.
Which implies you like him against Bud Crawford.
I do like him against Bud Crawford, but I do think that it's a great fight. Now, I could change my mind when we get closer. Bud Crawford, to me, is a latter-day Sugar Ray Robinson. He has the multiple skills of Sugar Ray Robinson. He can defend or attack. He has a deep inner mean streak that he can employ at any moment in a fight to get what he wants. You know, before the fight against, help me out here,
Madrimov was his last fight. Spence?
Spence.
Yes.
Before the fight against Errol Spence, there were quite a lot of people in the sport, in boxing media, who were saying, you know, I like Spence to win the fight. I was one of those people who said, no way. Errol Spence doesn't have the...
Terence Crawford's career speaks volumes about his talent and accomplishments. He has consistently demonstrated exceptional boxing skills, power, and ring adaptability, earning his place among the sport's elite. However, there is a paradox in how his fighting style is perceived. While boxing insiders appreciate Crawford's technical prowess and tactical brilliance, casual fans often overlook these attributes, favoring flashier, more aggressive styles. Crawford's methodical approach, blending defense, sharp counters, and calculated pressure, is highly effective but sometimes criticized for lacking excitement. This disconnect means many fans may not fully appreciate the high-level skill set Crawford brings to the ring. Terence Crawford's career speaks volumes about his talent and accomplishments. He has consistently demonstrated exceptional boxing.
Crawford, on the other hand, he has been walking down his fighters, and people don't see that but me. For some reason, when I had that tape, people were screaming cat. And it's like David Ebenezer, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, Gamboa, a meme machine. Even against Madrimov, the way he won the fight was by fighting. It wasn't Floyd Mayweather sticking. This guy has been too athletically gifted, and I mean explosive, hard punching, and too strong for his ops. When he's in orthodox, he boxes more. When he switches, he becomes a puncher. And now he's coming out southpaw. He ends you. He is not, you gotta watch him fight. He does do athletic things where his hands and his feet work together, and he catches you for sure. But what he mostly do is he punishes and he bullies his op because he walks you down and whips your ass. He's an
Boxing analyst Bomac offers a contrasting viewpoint. While acknowledging Canelo's talents, he emphasizes Crawford's superior technical abilities. According to Bomac, although Canelo is a top-level fighter, Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship give him the advantage. He also highlights Crawford's mental sharpness and consistent preparation, noting that these qualities allow him to dictate fights and outthink opponents. While Canelo's power and experience make him a dangerous rival, Bomac believes Crawford's strategic mindset and technical efficiency could prove decisive, especially if he sticks to his game plan. This analysis frames the fight more as a tactical chess match than a sheer power battle.
This fight with Canelo Alvarez, it was interesting to see the comments from Canelo on how he sort of assessed Bud Crawford's career. I almost feel after the Spence fight that was like an exclamation point on everything he's done, maybe from the critics who never gave him credit, but it almost seems like Canelo was downplaying his achievements. What do you make of that? Is that to build a fight? Because it sells itself.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Crawford rebuttal was everybody always say he hasn't fought nobody, or everybody that he fought was a no name. But I'm gonna tell you like this: what Crawford said, well, they was something until Crawford fought him. So obviously he's doing a great job because he's making everybody look normal.
not everyone, like when they go against Canelo, you know, I don't think there's anyone else in boxing who you would ask and say this is a possible task for, but for Crawford, because of his pound for pound abilities, and apparently no rehydration clause. Am I hearing that right? He wants full smoke at that weight.
Let's go, man. That's what Crawford wants. He wants to show the world that he's the best. So, hey, why put stipulations in there when you know that you can be the best? So, let's go test ourselves.
Look, I appreciate you taking this time. We don't get to speak all the time, so it's good to get you over here. And maybe we'll catch up later in fight week, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Canelo Alvarez's business manager, known for managing one of boxing's most lucrative careers, made significant claims regarding Canelo's physical advantages ahead of the Crawford bout. He asserted that Canelo's body is uniquely built to absorb punishment while avoiding damage, a rare trait that distinguishes him from most fighters in the sport. Boxing analyst Bomac offers a contrasting viewpoint. While acknowledging Canelo's talents, he emphasizes Crawford's superior technical abilities. According to Bomac, although Canelo is a top-level fighter, Crawford's precision, speed, and ring generalship give him the advantage. He also highlights Crawford's mental sharpness and consistent preparation, noting that these qualities allow him to dictate fights and outthink opponents. While Canelo's power and experience make him a dangerous rival, Bomac believes Crawford's strategic mindset and technical efficiency could prove.
I hope that Crawford didn't get any ideas from Skull. I don't think he did. I think Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and it's going to be a hell of a fight.
How does weight play a part in that fight?
Oh, what?
How does weight play a part in that fight, do you feel?
Weight?
Weight. The size difference.
Oh, no, I don't think that, that doesn't, like you saw today, the guy was like, I don't know how much taller. It didn't really play into it either. But Crawford is a hell of a fighter, and you saw today when they did the face-off in the ring, they're virtually height-wise, they are virtually the same. Crawford might even be a little bit taller, but when you look at Canelo, the way he's built, his legs, his shoulders, his neck, that is why he's never been hurt. And he's never been hurt fighting fighters at a substantially higher weight, substantially bigger than him, and they still couldn't hurt him.
Yeah.
And then you look at Crawford, who is a smaller guy, is moving up 2 weight classes, tried at 154, barely won, couldn't hurt Madrimov, and now he's going to go against the guy with the best chin in the sport. That's why probably odds maker have Canelo as a favorite. But having said all of that, Crawford is just a hell of a fighter. I was there when he fought, I was ringside when he fought.
The manager elaborated that Canelo's conditioning, muscle structure, and defensive awareness have enabled him to avoid serious injuries, even against heavy hitters. This durability is seen as a key advantage, especially against Crawford, who is considered physically smaller and less imposing. He also pointed to Crawford's recent performances, arguing that they suggest Crawford might lack the physicality.
The way he just totally neutralized Spence's strengths was absolutely, it was breathtaking to watch this. So Crawford is a very skilled fighter, very smart fighter, but again, he's never fought anybody like Canelo. You look at Canelo's resume. Canelo fought, now it's 21 former or current world champions. There's only 2 fighters in the history of boxing who have more than that. One of them is Floyd Mayweather with 24, and the other one is Manny Pacquiao with 23. And he's the only active fighter who fought so many world champions. So I think experience will play a big factor as well. You look at Canelo's resume, but it is, I think, the biggest fight that can be made. I think it's the biggest fight the sport has seen going back to as long as I can remember. I think it's just simple. And I've done some big fights with Floyd Mayweather, and I did Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. I promoted that, so I think.
Analysts widely recognize Terence Crawford as an elite fighter with exceptional skills and ring intelligence. However, the upcoming fight presents new challenges, particularly because Crawford is moving up in weight to face Canelo, regarded by many as one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters in history. Experts believe Crawford will lean on his proven strategies, as making drastic adjustments at this stage, especially against a physically dominant opponent, would be risky. Crawford's approach, centered on precision, counterpunching, and patience, is expected to remain his core tactic. The challenge lies in executing this familiar style effectively while managing the physical demands of a higher weight class. Canelo Alvarez snapped back at Terence Crawford during the press conference, insisting that Crawford is not on his level. He expressed disdain for fighters who...
Was Terence Crawford going to beat Canelo Alvarez? We need to talk about it. When we look at the guys who've had success with Canelo, we'll look at Bivol, we'll look at Golovkin, we'll look at Floyd, and we'll look at Lara. Yes, I'll throw Lara in there. Why not? I think all these fights are absolutely irrelevant coming into this bout. Some of them are just dated, or some of these guys' style just cannot apply. For example, a guy in Lara. If Crawford wanted to fight how Lara fought Canelo, he would probably gas out in 7 rounds, or if he made it 12, he just wouldn't get that decision. It's that simple. Let's take a guy in Golovkin. Crawford just simply does not have the punching power, nor do I think he has the gas tank at 68. He's not a good enough puncher to try to fight Canelo like Golovkin. He doesn't have the physical traits, even in the chin department. Then you have Floyd Mayweather. Well, both can have a bit of similarities. The speed, reflexes, technical prowess, IQ, timing, counterpunching, lateral movement. It's just too much from Floyd. I don't think Bud could take much from Floyd's game plan to implement it into his own success in September. And then you have Dimitri. The speed, the technical prowess, the IQ, the length is too much. So essentially, Terence Crawford is going to have to beat Canelo in a way that nobody has ever beaten him or gave him any issues in. I'm going to tell you exactly how Crawford's going to fight. He's going to fight like his damn self. It's too late in his career to change up the game plan. It's too late in his career for him to want to change up the game plan coming to a fight of this magnitude with a style he's never fought before. That would be a recipe for disaster. He's going to be more than likely off the back foot. He's going to be looking for counter shots. And I think there will be a point in this fight where he's simply just trying to survive. I like Crawford. He's an amazing pound-for-pound fighter. A different animal at 168. This is one of the greatest of all time. I see win scenarios for him, but I don't see him being realistic. I can see him fighting off the back foot, using his speed, timing, and feet to stay away from Canelo, but that's very, very, very unlikely, damn near impossible.
Nico Ali Walsh, a rising boxer and commentator, offered insight into the matchup, emphasizing how close the contest truly is. He pointed out that Crawford has been sparring with heavyweight fighters, showing his ability to handle larger opponents, a possible advantage when facing the physically bigger Canelo. This preparation suggests that Crawford has taken steps to mitigate the size and power gap. Walsh believes these efforts make the fight a genuine 50-50 matchup, where both fighters possess distinct strengths and weaknesses, making the outcome hard to predict. Canelo Alvarez's business manager, known for managing one of boxing's most lucrative careers.
Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been my favorite fighter for the longest time. But, you know, I have to be Team Bud because me and Bud are cool. And I have so much belief in Bud. And I know who he is as a fighter. He is one of the greats. So he could do anything. He wants.
And being around both of them and seeing how they work and train and things like that, what makes both of them the fighters they are, in your opinion?
I've watched Bud, so for Bud in particular, he's calm in everything he does, and that kind of calm is scary to watch because it shows experience. You can see that he's been doing this for decades. You can see it with...
Legendary trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offers a balanced take on the Canelo versus Crawford debate. He acknowledges Canelo's clear advantages in power, size, and strength, but equally praises Crawford's technical skill, speed, and high boxing IQ. Atlas sees the fight as a true clash of styles, physical dominance versus technical excellence. He emphasizes that both men bring unique tools to the ring that could tip the fight in their favor. According to Atlas, the outcome will ultimately depend on which fighter executes their strategy more effectively, making this a true 50-50 bout with valid arguments on both sides.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight. Guys are tired of me saying it. I look at him. Look, Canelo's special too. I get it. And he's bigger. I get that too. And everyone's going to say, well, after Madrimov fight again, had a couple hiccups. Now he's stepping up another weight class. Now he's got to fight Canelo, who's even bigger, stronger, better puncher, a unified champion that he's been, all of that stuff. He's not going to be able to handle it. I asked this question. See, I go to the other side. I say, okay, yeah, can Canelo handle the smaller guy who's going to be faster, who's going to be slicker, who's going to be better defensively, who's going to have better legs, who's going to be able sometimes Canelo at this point in his career can slow down a little bit. They're both getting older. I get it.